Hey, what is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven, and today I'm reviewing a controller that I'm actually really excited for. This is the PowerA Spectra, and I feel like this actually has a lot more value and bang for buck than the PowerA Fusion Pro, which is a controller that, by the way, I didn't like very much. I made that pretty clear on my review. I got attacked by a lot of PowerA Fusion Pro fanboys and stuff like that, and I feel like a lot of people on the internet, in particular a lot of the younger crowd around YouTube and stuff like that, don't understand that as an adult you can have a difference of opinion without being wrong or being a bad person or needing to be attacked or bicker back and forth or anything like that, especially when it comes to something as trivial as a video game controller or some kind of tech review or peripheral. It's not that big of a deal, and people can have differences of opinion. But getting all that negativity out of the way, this is a controller that I wanted to review for a long time. In case you guys are new to the channel, I do a lot of controller reviews. I've reviewed probably close to 24 controllers: Astro C40, Scuff, AIM, Battle Beaver, Elite 1 and 2, Nacon Revolution, PowerA Fusion Pro, a slew of other third-party companies that nobody's even heard about, and I also make custom controllers myself. I have a small business doing it, pictures on screen here, so I have a lot of experience not only getting around a controller, the insides of it, what makes it tick, what makes it a value to the consumer, to the user, to the gamer, and this is something that I feel actually has a lot of value, a lot of bang for buck. So without further ado, let's get over here to the Stormtrooper desktop and let's review this bad boy. Alrighty guys, over here at the Stormtrooper desktop as always. If you're new to the channel, this is where we do our unboxings usually. So, cutting into the Spectra here, this is a controller that's been out for quite a while now. I've been seeing these on the shelves of Walmart for around $50, and I've also seen these on Amazon for the longest time. Got one little sticker right there, if I can get my blade up underneath there. There we go. So PowerA is a brand that makes controllers and peripherals for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, a whole bunch of things. I guess there's two stickers on the side too. Oh geez, they really don't want you to get in there. Never do what I'm doing, cutting towards yourself. Cut away from yourself, guys. So anyway, the packaging is actually really good. Obviously lime green because it is an Xbox and Windows 10 controller, so of course they've got to get that branding right. By the way, I'm using a new lighting setup here. I'm using two soft boxes, 36 inches apiece. Let me know how it looks in comparison to some of my older videos where I was using one 12-inch halo ring, very bright, very aggressive lighting. It wasn't very natural, rich, vanilla, warm tone. So let me know how this is in comparison to my other videos, please. So, getting into the box here. You have your instruction manual. It is black and white. It also, you know, it's very cheap, very small font, several languages. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, not like you're going to get with a premium, you know, $150 controller or something like that. You're not going to get a thank you letter in there from PowerA or anything like that. Lifting this off here, you have no laser cut foam or anything. It's just held in by a you know, little generic piece of plastic here. You do have a very nice 10-foot braided cable that also comes with a Velcro cable tie, which even if you aren't going to use this for this particular cable, I would keep these, because when you're doing a PC build or something like that and you're trying to do cable management and tuck all your wires back, do not judge my setup right now. I'm moving in the near future and I'm not going to bother with cable management in this location, but these are great to have. So this is a 10-footer. It is braided. It also has a breakaway, so if you're playing and you know, a pet or animal or pet or child comes by and trips on this, it's not going to, you know, damage your console or your controller. And this just, you know, all in all, seems pretty quality. And this is mandatory because this is a wired-only controller, which some people might see as a downside. If you're just strictly playing on a PC, I don't think being wired really matters. You're right in front of the monitor. It's not like it's affecting anything, and you do get zero latency due to being wired. However, if you're playing something like console, casually on a couch or in your bedroom, then you probably do want to be wireless. However, 10 foot's pretty long, and I also have a link in the description below, in addition to the controller itself, to a 10-foot cable extension. Doesn't add any lag or latency, and you'll get 20 feet of length out of it, so not bad. That's on Amazon as well. Also, if you see me sweating in a lot of these videos, I do live in Florida, and I have to keep the overhead ceiling fan and the air conditioning off so it doesn't, you know, tamper with the audio of the video. Alright, so the controller itself feels really good in the hand. Ergonomically, it has the exact same shell shape as a Xbox One controller, which I've mentioned this a lot in the past, I think is ergonomically virtually perfect for most average size hands. It fits a wide variety of hands and it just feels very natural in the hand. I also like the offset analog sticks, vice the lateral ones like on the PlayStation controllers. That is strictly preference. I have played with both in the past and I can game effectively. It's just I think this is a little bit easier on the joints and your thumbs and whatnot. But overall, this not only feels very good ergonomically, but build quality feels insane. In comparison to something like a standard Xbox One controller, this feels a lot sturdier, more durable. It is a little bit heavier, but it also feels like the plastics are better quality. Part of that could be because the front shell here is actually a soft touch material, so kind of a rubberized, soft, silky coating. The back here is just very cheap, you know, hard plastic. The front here is a very nice soft touch. That probably helps with a lot of the premium feeling. Analog sticks feel very good. They're virtually identical to an Xbox One, so they have the standard concave sticks that have a little bit of a ribbed edge around the outside. I would recommend with any controller that you get that you put on some kind of thumbstick caps like Control Freaks or even a cheaper generic brand that raises the sticks up a little bit so you get more control and leverage over precision aiming. Not to mention they generally feel a lot better on the thumb. So face buttons feel very good, better than a standard Xbox controller. They're more clicky. They're not mechanical like the Razer controllers, but they do have a nice satisfying click, very light resistance, satisfying break, and a good rebound. I do like the menu, share, and Xbox button. They're raised a little bit higher out of the shell than the standard Xbox controller. You also have a status indicator light right there. Not bad at all. So triggers here feel a little bit cheap and clicky. They actually sound very cheap, and they feel a little bit light for my taste. I wish there was a little bit more resistance in them, but hey, that's all personal preference. And you do have three-way trigger stops. I love that. The only other controller that I know that does that would be the Elite 2, which is now about $230 where you can find them because they're really hard to get a hold of and they have terrible quality control issues. They're coming out of the box with stick drift, bumpers breaking. I actually like that controller quite a bit, but I can't recommend it because of the QC issues at the factory over there in Microsoft. But three-way trigger stops, so you're getting full pull there. At halfway it cuts out virtually nothing, actually. It only cuts out about 10 to 15% of the pull at the halfway mark. But that third mode there cuts out about 70-75% of the pull, so you get a nice short pull for busting off those fast shots with a semi-automatic weapon. That's what trigger locks are for. So all in all, I do really like that. I do feel like the first setting doesn't really do anything, so they should have either just had two-way trigger stops or, you know, had three-way trigger stops that actually have a more substantial difference between each one. Like, okay, you're cutting out 30%, you're cutting out 50%, you're cutting out 80%, but, you know, it is what it is. Bumpers feel okay. I'm not a huge fan of this ergonomic design here. It feels like they're not concaved in it or cut in enough right here. They should be sculpted in a little bit more. That's just my personal opinion. I do really like this little box right here that is so you can only plug in your cable one way. There's a little lip in there that has to line up with a little trough on your cable, so you can only plug it in one way. You don't have to risk breaking off your micro USB port, which is a huge point of failure on a controller. And if that's broken, you need to send it in for repair, or if you're like me, take it apart, resolder it, but nobody likes to do that. So besides the trigger stops on there, another major premium feature is you have two paddles back here, and these are both remappable on the fly. That's awesome. You also have a button here. You have two on the back. One's for programming your buttons on the fly. You can also adjust these from inside the PowerA application, which is available on Windows 10 and Xbox. We'll show that on this video here. Then you also have another button for LEDs. I don't know if you can see this right now with the current lighting, but there are LED rings around the thumbsticks, D-pad, and all of the face buttons, and that gives you, it actually also goes around the entire outside here as well. Speaking of which, you don't have a stereo optic port, you do have a 3.5mm headphone jack. So yeah, I believe you have 7 different modes of RGB, 7 different colors that you can have static or, you know, have it rotating through the spectrum. We will mess with that in just a hot second here. But overall, this feels like a really good controller. It feels better than a standard Xbox One controller. The only thing is it's wired, so if that's not a huge deal for you, you're playing strictly on PC, or you just don't care about playing wired, or you prefer it because of the zero latency, which I have covered in a video in the past. That wireless controller latency isn't really a big deal anymore. The last 8 to 10 years, things have gotten very, very good in that aspect. Yes, Bluetooth does have a little bit of lag or latency, but when you have the direct connection, like from a PlayStation or an Xbox to the controller, that's not using Bluetooth most of the time. It's a 2.4 gigahertz direct connection. It's very, very quick. Let's go ahead and get this plugged into the PC. So once you're plugged into your Windows 10 PC or Mac, they actually do have a driver that you can find online. If you Google, Mac driver, I'm on Windows 10. But you press the Xbox home button, this light will illuminate to let you know you're connected. And when you start pressing the lighting or RGB key at the background, you'll be able to rotate through your different colors. I believe there's 7 static colors, and then obviously the last mode is rotating through the spectrum, which is pretty cool. That's probably the mode I would keep it on, just fading through the spectrum. I think that looks the coolest. And of course you can turn it off, so if you're in a dark room and it's actually disorienting, just go ahead and cut it off. Alrighty guys, so over here at the PC with the PowerA Spectra, and they actually do not have a dedicated software suite, which I found a little bit surprising, because most controllers that are compatible with PC do have a way to customize things like your lighting, your thumbstick sensitivity, trigger sensitivity, dead zone, stuff like that, and you're not getting that with this controller, which I thought was very, very interesting. I did search, let's go ahead and share my screen with you guys. I did search both the Windows Store as well as online. I did come across this firmware update. This is the latest patch for Windows 10. I will have a link to this one as well as the Mac patch if you are on an Apple computer as well. I don't know why you'd be gaming on an Apple, but hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help you out. So, yeah, I searched this, and I also searched the Windows Store to try and find some kind of a software suite where you can customize. Also, on the Xbox Store, there is no PowerA app there either. How do I know that? Because I searched for it, for one, and two, the Xbox App Store is virtually identical to the Windows 10 application store. They share the same platform and a lot of the same applications. So as this doesn't require any drivers, it is considered plug and play. You just plug it directly into your PC or Xbox, and it automatically installs, internal drivers that you're going to need to play with, which is really cool. Actually saves a lot of time, and if you don't care about customizing inside of a software suite, it's good just to be able to get up and gaming real quick. Alright, so we already went through how to set the RGB modes, we already went through the trigger stops, now we're going to show you guys how to program on the fly. You're going to hold down the program button for 1 to 2 seconds. The status light right there will begin to flash. You press whatever face button, D-pad, L3, R3, whatever you want to remap will do A. Now it starts rapidly flashing. And you got to be quick about it. I wasn't fast enough right there because I was trying to, narrate and whatnot, so we'll do... Yep, that's the lighting. All right, let's press this again. Program, A, bam. And I programmed it to AGR, which stands for Advanced Gaming Right, and then AGL, Advanced Gaming Left. They call these the Advanced Gaming Switches, just a little marketing gimmick. And then we'll do B over to left. So we got jump and crouch, which is, usually what people map the back paddles to if you only have 2 paddles. By the way, this is the lighting with only 1 soft light, so just want to make a little note for myself so I can look at this in post-production and see what 1 soft light looks like vice the 2 or even 3 setup that I usually run. Alright guys, so this is Halo Reach on the PC, their Master Chief Collection. I just plugged the controller in, I didn't remap anything, and obviously I remapped the 2 paddles on screen or on camera here for you guys, but I haven't remapped anything in the game, and it just defaulted to what the standard controls would be for, for the original game, which is pretty cool. Oh god, that was terrible. There we go. Anyway, have a long grenade, my friend. Oh, off the cliff. I was hoping that'd be a good throw. So anyway, we'll just mess around a little bit. I'm using the back paddle right now for jump. Works really good. This is actually not crouch. Crouch is L3 for this game, so that would be melee. So we'll try and get a little bit of use of that paddle as well. But all in all, thumbsticks feel really good. I got the trigger locks on full. Okay, apparently L2 is throw a grenade. R3 is to scope up, or ADS, aim down sights, whatever. Let's see if we can do a little sniping, shall we? Turn off the LED ring. It's kind of disorienting me a little bit, and Daddy needs to get on his Chris Kyle sniper stuff. By the way, I will be streaming this game on twitch.tv/AK40Kevin, spelled KVN. So if you guys are interested, check me out over there. We do a lot of really fun things. We do giveaways, interactive polls, stuff like that. You're dead. You're going to be dead as well, sir. You're dead. Ooh, moving fast, bud. Taking more headshots than a cameraman right now. What is my reload button, for the love of God? Ah, R1. I forgot the controller bindings for this game are a little bit wonky. I've been playing on keyboard and mouse here recently. So, oh god, that was terrible. There we go. Yeah, I guess their controller bindings just really aren't too great. It's not really affecting my accuracy much, though. That controller feels solid, man. I like the soft touch material on the hand. Feels really good. Oh, hey, bud. Good to see you. Alright, so that was with that back paddle there. Gave him the old 1-2 Husker Du. Alrighty, guys, so back over here at the PC to give you guys my final thoughts, and they are just this. This controller is an absolute banger for the value. Bang for buck. This is insane. This is $40. $40. That's cheaper than, well, it's about the same. You can usually get a new Xbox controller, Xbox One controller, for about $40 to $45. A little bit cheaper in the used market and whatnot, but brand new for $40. And if you don't mind being wired, I mean, this has 2 remappable paddles, 3-way trigger stops. Granted, the first setting doesn't really do much of anything. You've got some pretty nice eye-catchy RGB on there. Nice soft touch material. It feels incredibly durable. The materials all feel actually, I wouldn't say premium, but they feel high quality. So I can highly recommend this, honestly. I like how they're already trying to link it here with some thumbstick caps, which is, again, what I said I would recommend. That's pretty much the only mod that you would need to make this a really good performance controller. And 2 paddles is really all you need. You got jump and slide or reload, whatever you want to map it to. Yeah, 4 paddles is nice to have. 6 is even cooler to have, like some of the Razer controllers that have those additional bumpers as well as 2 paddles. But you don't really need that. I mean, 2 paddles is enough to get away with. And especially for $40, like, not bad. I also would recommend getting this through Amazon because you have 30 days to try it out. If you don't like it, you can get a full refund, whether it's defective or not. You can just return it. It's really great. So yeah, use the link in the description below. It is an affiliate link. You won't pay an extra dime, but I'll get a couple shekels thrown my way, which supports the channel, and I definitely do appreciate it. So, you know, having said that and everything, guys, hopefully this video was informative for you guys, and you were able to figure out if the PowerA Spectra is a good option for you. I mean, the PowerA Fusion Pro is $80, and, you know, I didn't like the paddle design of that at all. I thought they were intrusive. They stuck too far off the shell. You get false actuations on it. I also didn't like the materials on that. I disassembled that and found out that they put weights, lead weights, inside of their controller to make it feel more premium and give it more of that build quality feel, but it was just weights that they put in there to be deceitful. I didn't like the way that controller felt in my hand. I just wasn't a fan. I'm not going to go into that now. If you want to watch the review for that, I'll have a link to that in the description below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one, and enjoy your gaming, and stay safe out there. All right, guys. Peace.